Yeah, so 5 original sessions and several follow-ups in 1994 at Fadama, this village, right? And it was done by the Jali or the griot, the master bard Janka Tasa Konde, who has since died, okay? And then he traces the lineage of this griot, who is a traditional uh, shamanistic sort of oral storyteller within the culture, and so they come from a long line of storytellers. So it's a trained position, it's a inherited position. So this is mentioned, and then this is the 1965 edition that I talked about, Sundiata, which up until a few years ago was the text that everyone read. Uh, so here he's talking about the capturing of this performance. So it's this huge performance, right? There's more than 16,000 lines in it, right? Uh, and the text that we're reading is less than 1/3 of that, right? So it was really like this performance that caught the anthropologist by surprise. Did not expect to see such a big performance and such an expansive performance of this traditional epic. Okay, so he talks about here, well, what do I do with all this material, right? So it's from a different tradition, a cultural tradition. It's in an oral tradition, and it's this huge sort of text, which would probably be about 500 pages if he put it all together. So he wants to make a text that is accessible to Western readers, and so he's in a quandary, right? He knows he has to cut things down, right, in some way, some manner here. So he talks about this, right? He talks about what he does in terms of cuts, right? So he does cut uh, a lot of he keeps most of the action and the episodic action. So the basic stories are still there. What he cuts is a lot of the background, the historical background, family background, uh, things of that nature. A lot of times, descriptions of rituals, descriptions of practices, right? So he cuts that out as thinking that that's going to slow the Western reader down, and so that's understandable on the one hand, but on the other hand, by cutting out those aspects, he's cutting out a great deal of the cultural richness. So we want to pay attention to that, pay attention to these lacuna, which are italicized passages in the text where he tells us what he's cut out.